Now, I cannot believe that January is still not over. This has been the longest month in human history.
I know your nigga wanna take a bite of this. I always got the nigga begging for just one kiss. I know your nigga wanna take a bite of this. I always got the nigga begging.
Now, usually I don't like showing y'all my husbands because y'all can't keep your eyes to yourselves. You can't keep your hands to yourself. I'm gonna show you my husband real quick, one of my husbands, but I want y'all to know something. That's mine. Okay, back on up. Okay. Now, I just want to ask you this question. Do you ever feel, just like I tweeted, do you ever feel like a plastic bag? I'm telling you right now, if I had the option to transform into somebody's goddamn Ziploc bag, I don't know what he's doing, I guess he's laying down his waves. He said he's working on Aquaman 2. It's giving me a very much feeling, a magical feeling of Atlantis. I want Mr. Abdul Mateen II, I want Mr. Yahya to know that I can also give him a magical feeling. I give him a fulfilling, satisfying ass feeling, okay? Beyonce was talking about surfboard. Okay, that's really cute. If I can do some tricks and flips on those waves, them tidal waves that you have, sweetie, I promised you, the 7 C's, Mr. Black Manta, is not the only thing that is about to be wet as hell. Check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression if you want weekly podcast episodes, early content, extra content in general, some writing over there as well, and some overall foolishness. Just check it out, sign up, let me know what you think. Now, speaking of foolishness, I just wanted to quickly go over what happened with Trey Songz. I posted a video like in the beginning of this week talking about how he had these officers, these cops in a MMA-ass chokehold. It seemed like he was doing some martial arts or something. I don't know what was going on. But I thought it was funny. I thought the shit was funny, girl. But apparently it has been coming out that Trey Songz was over there. I guess the reason why they came after his ass is because he was not putting the mask that he had underneath his chin. Like he wasn't putting it up, or he wasn't wearing a mask or something like that. He didn't want to wear some shit. So while I'm not trying to make any excuses for his ass, I just find it really interesting that he was the one singled out when literally while the violence was happening, there were people sitting around literally watching without masks on their face. So I'm just like, are masks the real reason why your ass went after him? I don't know. I guess y'all can let me know what y'all think about that. In other news, Cicely Tyson has passed away at the age of 96. And while that is very sad and annoying, 2021 has been already annoying as hell. I'm trying to just focus on the fact that she lived a very full life. She lived a very, like a pioneering life. I'm not sure if she was the first Black actress to go on to TV with her natural hair. She definitely was one of the first. She was one of the catalysts, as I'm understanding, to the natural hair movement in entertainment and society, I guess, in general. She got her first recurring role for a Black woman in a drama series, and that's East Side, West Side. One of the things that really stick out to me in the recent years that she, is what she did with How to Get Away with Murder and Viola Davis. And of course, Viola put this message on Instagram about her passing. And one of the couple of sentences that really stuck out to me is when Viola said, "You made me feel loved and seen and valued in a world where there is still a cloak of invisibility for us dark chocolate girls. You gave me permission to dream because it was only my dreams that I could see the possibilities in myself." So I think that is really encouraging, especially those of us who are moving through uncharted territory, or we are the first maybe in your family or one of the first in whatever group you're a part of to do certain things. As difficult as the journey is, as difficult as your life's journey is, you never know who you will be inspiring. But I would definitely say that in the case of Cicely Tyson, she has inspired generations. Her career has spanned over generations, and that in and of itself is an accomplishment. Of course, what you do with your career is very important, and it's obvious that she touched a lot of people's lives. So yeah, as unfortunate as this is, she lived a life. Okay. All right, so let me see if I can break down this T.I. and Tiny stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just all over the place. So we'll see if we can streamline some of the information, because girl. Okay, so the bottom line is that T.I. and Tiny have been accused of, I'm talking about messing around with underage girls. I'm talking about making girls take drugs and shit, like sexual assault. It's really out of hand. It first started off with this woman named Sabrina Peterson, And I guess she was like a friend of T.I. or something. I don't know. But she came out and she accused, as you can see here, she accused T.I. of holding a gun to her head. And then her Instagram account went further to publish some DMs that she got from people describing, allegedly describing their experience with Tiny and T.I. And like I said, in the messages, it's given sexual assault, it's given like forcing people to take drugs, it's given very much coercion, manipulation, it's giving underage, in certain cases underage. Shekinah went up there and said, well, girl, Sabrina, you lying, just tell them how you sleep. Why don't you tell them how you was sleeping with it? And it's just like, ma'am, Shekinah, ma'am, are you literally going out here and validating the allegations? Like, I don't understand. Shekinah asked, you know what? I'm actually happy that T.I. and Tiny have, you know, this association with Shekinah, because she be telling all their business, and she really think that she won up somebody, or oh, gotcha, ma'am, you literally just confirmed the allegations. And granted, if you think that because Sabrina and T.I. and them were friends that there is a lot more to dive into, then of course I agree with that. But for Shekinah to be out here like, yeah, girl, why don't you tell her how y'all was recruiting girls to sleep? I'm like, ma'am, that's the, what are you telling? She really thinking that shit? Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell him. I'll tell him how you was recruiting girls, ma'am. That's what the allegations are, Shekinah. That's what we saying. Yes, so you agree? Now these allegations would not be so believable had we not seen exactly who T.I. and Tiny are. Like, T.I. over and over has displayed that he loves to be emotionally manipulative, he loves to be misogynist, he has this weird relationship with women, even in his own family and their bodies, even his own daughters. We've seen how he talks about them. We've also seen how Tiny goes up to defend, no matter what trash that man says, no matter what idiot shit he does, Tiny is right there defending his ass, trying to discredit women. So yeah, it would be one thing if these allegations came out the blue, out of nowhere. But it's like, man, like, we've been seeing the way that this family, or at least the two of them, I'll say, act, and the kind of shit they say. And so it's like, you set yourself up for that. You set yourself up for that. There was this whole thing on social media where this question was like, are they gearing up to create this like surviving T.I. and Tiny documentary? I just feel like there's a lot of celebrities involved with this kind of bullshit, and the reason why a lot of people try to discredit the victims, they try to act like this shit is not a big deal, is because their tea is going to be dug up as well. So yeah, if you're wondering why they were all over the news, that's why. In my opinion, if this shit turns out to be true, I would not be fucking surprised. Like, I just would not be surprised. The kinds of things that these type of people say publicly and don't think that there's anything wrong with this shit. What do you think these people with money and, you know, no regard for humanity, basic human decency, don't understand consent, misogynist and manipulative and weirdo abusive tendencies, like, what do you think that they're actually doing behind closed doors? Those are the accusations that have been going around. Like I said, their past and the shit that they do and say does not really help them out with this. But their spokesperson said, Mr. and Mrs. Harris want to be on record, and more importantly, want the public to know they emphatically deny in the strongest way possible the egregiously appalling allegations being made against them by Sabrina Peterson. The Harrises have had difficulty with this woman for well over a decade. They are taking this matter very seriously. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I just want you to know, just because you looked up a whole bunch of words on the thesaurus don't mean shit. We're gonna see what the tea is. I feel like something, I don't know when it will happen, but I feel like something, if all of this shit is true, is going to come to light. Like, I just think so. So what's going on with GameStop and Wall Street and stocks and all of this? Now, keep in mind that I am nobody's financial advisor. I do not have no career, no economics, nothing like that. I don't know what the fuck I be talking about. If I'm trying to go more specific, that's why I'm gonna do it as general as possible. If somebody is watching me and has much more experience in stocks and all this and can explain it better than I can, please leave it in the comments. But as far as making it as simple to understand as possible, this is what has been going on with GameStop. So the way that stocks and Wall Street and all this shit works is basically the more money you got. this is the way I feel about it. I'll just put a disclaimer. Basically, the more money you got, the more free the market is to you. Because bitch, if something happens and you don't like it, you can just be like, girl, call up these apps and be like, bitch, stop the trading, bitch, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Or you can just call up the government and say, hey bitch, we need a bailout. So for years, the top motherfuckers at Wall Street, and you know, we're talking about hedge funds as well. And hedge funds are firms where rich people put their money, give their money to these brokers or whatever, and let them play with it in the stock market so that they can increase their wealth. And hedge funds and big players in Wall Street have been taking advantage of the, I guess, lack of rules in the stock market and grinding companies into the dust. I'm talking about using their money and power to monopolize the market, right? Like that's my understanding of it. So big time investors were just doing what they usually do when they saw that GameStop was failing and they bet against GameStop, essentially. I'm really just simplifying it. But what a couple of Redditors, a lot of people on social media did was saw that these companies, these hedge funds and shit were betting against GameStop, and if they just poured everything they had into GameStop stock, that these hedge funds, these billionaires would take a loss. So in my opinion, it's almost like, okay, you're a huge company, you see that Blockbuster, just this example, right? You see that Blockbuster is going, it's fucked, it's going out of business. So what you do is bet against their asses because they're, you know, it's very likely that they're going to lose business or whatever, and that's that. But what they did not expect was all this money to be poured back into this stock, right? So what happened at the end of it was that billionaires lost a whole bunch of money, or I guess they're going to, while the individual investors, the small guys, the people who were trying to fuck over the rich ended up making a whole bunch of money. Of course, before these people came in here and tried to stop the trading of GameStop and AMC and all that shit. I just found it really interesting that once these billionaires were losing money, once these hedge funds were losing money, and it was the small guy investors making a whole bunch of money, we saw immediate, like the people saying Biden, the administration is watching what's happening with GameStop, watching what's happening with the stock market. I think Nancy Pelosi, like Congress, said something about it as well. I found it really, really funny that we still waiting on these 2K checks, that we still, you know, basic shit to survive the pandemic. We still waiting on that shit. You know, the government moves so slowly or not at all when it comes to trying to protect the people, especially when you're talking about social safety nets or whatever it is. Very slow, health, education, very slow. But as soon as they saw the stock market giving more coin to you poors than the billionaires, they came in quick. They came down quick. And I fully expected, if these, you know, platforms did not halt the trading, that Congress would go immediately to try, administration, government would go immediately into trying to create some type of law, something to prevent this shit from ever happening again. So yeah, if you're wondering what was going on with GameStop, that's a very overall like view of it. I mean, to really understand it, you have to go into the definition of like the different types of buys and sells of stocks and short sales of stocks. Like you really have to go into that. I did not want to do that. I didn't want to try like I didn't want to pretend like I fully understood that shit either. But yeah, basically billionaires lost a whole bunch, billionaire investors lost a whole bunch of money, small guy investors got a whole bunch of fucking money. Basically the small guy investors use the same mechanisms that huge billionaire, you know, hedge funds and shit used to rig the system, to game the system. The small guys use those same mechanisms to literally reverse. And they was pissed. They went onto the news, they went onto news media, mainstream media quick. So yeah, I think now all that shit is funneling into cryptocurrency. It is class warfare. And I love to see the small guy win. I'm sorry. So I'll end this video on this note. Miss Tina put this picture on Instagram with the following caption: "My talented granddaughter made up my face today. She's only 9 years old. Can you imagine her at 15 doing my makeup? She beat my face, gonna save me a lot of money on makeup artist fees." Nothing deep or profound to say about this, only that Blue Ivy is that girl that we thought she was. a multi-talented mogul already at such a young age. A rapper, singer, writer, dancer, choreographer. Now she's a makeup artist, she's a director, producer. I always wonder how Beyonce feels now that Blue Ivy is signing her checks. Okay, I love y'all so much. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Do not forget to check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Give me your wig. Give me your wig. You don't know what to do